In an alternate world of elves, centaurs, and fairies, technology has mostly replaced the magical arts. But when a father to two young children discovers that he's dying, he returns to the ancient ways to create a way to see his sons once they've grown. The spell doesn't go right though, and the boys end up with a ticking clock. If they can't finish the spell by sunset, they'll forever lose the opportunity to talk to their father. Through the adventure, the oldest son Barely is guiding his younger brother Ian through all the necessary steps to fully restore their father. Due to circumstances, at the end of the day, only one of them is able to enjoy time with their father, while the other distracts a dragon. Ian realizes that through his life, he's always had someone to look up to, Barley. Barley, on the other hand, has had to figure out how to navigate the world with less direction and guidance. So Ian gives up the opportunity to see his father, letting Barley have this chance. This gets at something that people have struggled with since antiquity. What does it mean to be a father? We seem to have solved this on a biological level, at least. But on a social level, this is much less well defined. Partly this has to do with the unusual nature of human parentage. Among the great apes, monkeys, and other mammals that share a bunch of physical qualities with us, fatherhood is biological only. An adult male orangutan generally makes almost no distinction between juveniles. An adult female orangutan generally shows a great deal of favoritism towards those juvenile that have come from her body. There are instances of females choosing a new juvenile, adopting it as her own. These seem to be a variation on the normal way of doing things. If elves in that world did things like orangutans instead of like us humans, there wouldn't ever have been a pair of sons seeking contact with a deceased father. Their single mother would be the only situation that anyone knew. They wouldn't ever add the qualifier, single, to mother. When they heard us humans add that qualifier, they would ask, as opposed to what? Right, wrong, or indifferent. Common wisdom is that the reason humans do this is because our babies are so helpless for so long. Orangutan infants are climbing trees with their moms and seeking their own food without mom's help around 4 years of age. A 4-year-old human is nowhere near ready to start providing her own food. Needing to provide so much for so long means that a mother needs someone to help provide for her and the child. The only other adult with a vested, genetic interest in the survival and advancement of the child is the father. So says conventional wisdom, anyway. Not all fathers are created equal, though. I'm fortunate that my father and 2 grandfathers were very involved in my early upbringing. I've known others that have not had that experience. When I was in my 20s, I carpooled with a guy that had only met his biological father a half dozen times or so. Personally, I've never understood the fathers that avoid paternal responsibilities. I love my children. My oldest son is particularly difficult, but there has been no job that I've enjoyed as much as the last few years spending all day taking care of him. Whatever else may be true about parenting, one thing I've learned is that it's a team sport. When you're looking to be a parent, build your team well. If you can, another parent and grandparents and such comes with certain social and systemic advantages. But if any part of that isn't an option, it's good that we live in a world where a social worker and school administrators can become part of your team. Like Ian, children may romanticize the concept of a biological father, but hopefully also like Ian they will eventually learn to appreciate the people who fill that role, regardless of their biological connection or lack thereof.